it's not politics anymore. I consider what I'm doing depoliticizing. If you remember what I said when I first started this little rant that I'm on, I guess none of our politicians, none of our people, and no one in the state of Arkansas could have possibly been prepared for this because we simply didn't know the pipeline was there.
Well,
we could have
but
been.
it's also really the responsibility of the oil companies to protect us from their mistakes. An example of that is the Exxon Valdez spill up in Alaska. The fishing communities in Prince William Sound didn't want the Alaska pipeline built because the oil was going to come down out of Valdez through Prince William Sound, and they were worried about a spill. But the community, the state and the government wanted to have this oil for the economic growth of the state and the country, and so they brokered an agreement whereby the Alaska Pipeline Company, I think it was supposed to provide a safety program so that a spill would be contained.
Right.
And they did they did a job. They created a system for protecting, but it wasn't they didn't envision what happened.
Right.
And they had a system, but it wasn't able to cope with the extent of the disaster. And to some extent, they were allowed, their feet weren't held to the fire.
And in this case, it's a mirror of that. And what we've
Well,
seen
that's what I'm saying, that this is the way we treat the petroleum industry.
Well, they get by with it because we can't afford to fight them, if I'm not mistaken. We don't have the money and the resources.
And we want to have gasoline for our cars.
Correct.
Well, I'm not driving anymore.
Hey, but why should that cost people 25 years from now in their medical records and their bottom line when they're paying their bills at the end of the week or the end of the month?
There is not
why
the
should
foresight.
That be their
but there isn't the foresight to understand the extent of the problem.
All right, I'm playing one song, and then we're bringing on the chemist. Doc, this is Neil Young, Revolution Blues, and we'll be back in just a minute.
Okay.